What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? This should be episode 41 of Resident Bummer. I don't know why I said should be. It definitely is. Haven't made episode 41 yet, so... Reason being, reason meaning, reason prevailing. God, this is off to a terrible start. Logic should dictate that this is episode 41. There we go. Holy shit. Clearly, the Fulcrum is serving again as your one and only host. This is the 42nd episode ever released of Resident Bummer. Can't forget about episode 0. Health check. I'm feeling healthy, like a 9 out of 10. Clothing check. I'm wearing a gray mesh t-shirt. I don't know what the material is. I'm not going to sit here and try and remember the name of it. And some kind of like meshy basketball shorts. Motivation check. Not bad, like 7, somewhere between a 7 and an 8. But now it's time for me to read my journal. So, on Friday, October 31st, the first entry is 1:35 a.m. I finish recording the podcast, and I continue with the College of Winterhold quest in Skyrim. I do travel through Mizulft, the Dwemer ruins, and focus the light with my ice and fire magic. That's badass, man. I remember doing that as a kid. Then it's time for bed at 11:30 a.m. the next day. Or, well, the same day, I guess. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I'm still still extremely tired. Good lord. I play Skyrim until it is time to change and drive into work. I say hi to Richard, Patricia, and Anna. I'm 7 minutes into my shift, and Richard asks me to leave and cover somebody else's shift later in the day. They called in sick right after I clocked on, so I decided I'd take off. I get back home, play a little bit more Skyrim for a couple hours. I finish up the Thieves Guild quest, which was fucking terrible. That's awful. Or, no, maybe... I think I might just finish the quest here, and then there's another step to restore it to the former glory. That's the part that fucking blows. But anyways, continue through the Dark Brotherhood quest a little bit more. Touch the Night Mother inappropriately while I'm in her coffin. If you've played Skyrim, you know what I'm talking about. At 2:40 p.m., I get dressed and head back into work, of course, as I'm covering somebody's shift later in the day. Say hello to Richard again. And, Patricia is not there, I believe, when I get back, so I don't say hello to her. But at 6:55 p.m., Benjamin gets in shortly after I do. I say hi, and then I go and take a poop. While I'm at work, I say goodbye to Richard and Patricia when they leave. Now, I just have to finish the night out with Ben. Oh boy, I get a 30-minute break because I have an 8-hour shift while closing. I'm not gonna lie, I would just probably rather be home. I don't like having my nights eaten up. For some reason, I just like relaxing when it gets to be evening. Can't really do that when you're on shift somewhere. 11:40 p.m. at some point during work, someone hands me a Bible after I swap their propane tanks out for them. I do have my Bible. It's sitting over on my counter right now, next to me, about 3 feet away from me. Totally free. That's awesome, man. For some reason, I have actually been searching around for a Bible for like the last month or two. Definitely thought that I had one, like somewhere around in the house that I currently live in, but I could not find it, so this will have to do. It's the New International Version of the Bible, I guess. I don't know what that means, but, yeah, I put my Bible next to my jacket back in the kitchen area where I store my jacket, and I get back to work. When it's almost time to close up, of fucking course, in the last 5 minutes of the store being open, there's a lot of fucking customers that just walk through the door. There's at least 6 or 7. Some of them buy their shit and then they just fucking wait around inside of the store, technically after we're closed, a minute or two after we're supposed to be closed. It's like, I want to scream at the top of my lungs, like, get the fuck out. But obviously you can't. I just don't know how many people, I don't know how there's so many people, that are just totally fine with doing shit like that. It's like, there's so many 24/7 gas stations that are open all day, all night. Can you not do this to us, please? What the hell? Go somewhere else, please. Me and Ben are pretty pissed, but finally everybody decides to leave after like 5 minutes. Clock off, I drive home and load up some Skyrim. My shift was totally fine, but at the same time it completely sucked ass. I do finish the Dark Brother quest line and I begin the Civil War shit. Team Stormcloak every single time I play through the game. I think I did do one run through with the Empire just to see what it was like, but nah, man. You cannot entertain those bootlickers. They freaking, they're not letting you worship Talos, man. You gotta have religious freedom, or else everything else is like, what's going on? Skyrim, man. It's some weird politics popping up in that game. Eventually I get tired and I head to bed, save the game, and fall asleep. It's a weird side note. I have to bring up the political implications of religious freedoms in the same day of entries that I got the Bible. That's kind of weird. But moving on, Set 41, Day 2. This should be November 1st. Saturday, November 1st. I wake up, 3:15 is the entry time, but I wake up at some point in the AM, shit, and load up some Skyrim. I was going to shower and brush right before going to the mall. Continue the Civil War quest in Skyrim. I do invade Whiterun and replace Balgruuf as Jarl. Somebody from the Greymane family replaces him. I can't remember his name, like Ilgrid or some shit like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Balgruuf, unfortunately, he was an Imperial supporter, so he had to be replaced. But, fucking Ulfric was not having it. He didn't enjoy his axe being returned to him, so he was like, yeah, we gotta invade Whiterun. And, replace Jarl Balgruuf, unfortunately. Fuck the Thalmor, by the way. Just in case that wasn't clear. Eventually, I get in the shower. I forget to shave, and I do brush. I remember to brush before going to the mall, though. I get dressed and drive out to the mall. I fill up with gas on my way out, and I find a spot and walk in. It starts raining on the drive-in, so by the time I get inside, I'm just drenched with water. My bench is taken, by the way, by somebody. I'm just sitting there. So the mall is busy. Also, it's a Saturday. So I take a bench in the main area, like the main walking area of the mall, instead of my usual sneaky little spot off the beaten path. I start out with Katy Perry's 1432 album. The second version of this album, I believe. I'm assuming it just has more songs included on it. It's very good. I think I added like every single song from every single Katy Perry album, which is dope. Other than the duplicate albums, I should probably go back. I remember one album, I accidentally listened to the initial release version instead of like the extended cut, like full release. You know how some artists will do that like a year after. They'll be like, oh, here are some songs I forgot to include on this album. Or some shit like that. Eventually, I remember that my manager was recommending the musical group known as BROCKHAMPTON to me, so I do start with their albums. The first one is pretty darn good. The second one is good as well. Then I remember to start journaling while I'm at the mall listening to music. I get self-conscious while doing so. There's somebody sitting on the bench directly behind me, and for some reason I always just assume that they're turned around looking straight onto my phone, whatever I'm doing on my phone, so I don't know. I'm a freak like that. 12:05 a.m. I feel like I'm being watched. Anyways, Brockhampton's first two albums are great. A lot of songs have been added to my master playlist. Eventually I finish up and head back out to my car. Thankfully it's not raining quite as hard on the walk back out. So I drive home and boot up Skyrim again. I work on starting every single Daedric quest. I do that and I start completing them. It's a lot of fun. I do get sucked in for many hours at a time while playing Skyrim. It's a great game. Eventually my parents get back from watching a football game with some of their friends. I was home alone most of the day, but I think at 1:20 a.m., I'm mashing through Skyrim until I receive a new like on Down, a terrible, shitty application that I'm talking about. I do send them a like back. They let me know that they would honestly love to cuddle right now. I'm like, hey, you look cute. We should cuddle right now. And they're like, I would honestly love that. I let them know that I can slide over. They do get cold feet immediately as I start asking. I'm like, oh, really? Well, just send me the address. I'll be right over. And they start dodging. Ooh, man. I'm not going to lie. I do excite myself. Definitely. Too much. Like when I hear something like that, someone tells me that sounds lovely. Or it's like, oh my gosh, I agree. It's like, sweet. Let's get this sorted out. Why waste time? But oddly enough, people are usually lying. So I always have to keep that in mind. It's moving on, set 41, day 3. This is Sunday, November 2nd, 9:15 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I start playing some more Skyrim. I finally restored the Thieves Guild to its former glory. Here it is. That shit sucks every single time I've had to do it. I've done it 3 times now. This is the 3rd and hopefully final time I will ever do it. I'm going to try, I said I was going to try playing Dragon Age 4, the Veilguard, after I finished 100%ing, Skyrim. But I think I might go through Assassin's Creed 2, because that's another good game. That's also on Xbox Game Pass, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to see what I'm feeling after I'm finished up with Skyrim. I do also finish the main quest of the Dragonborn DLC. Very, very good. I still have to go through most of the Dawnguard DLC. I've collected Serana, but she's my infinite, sort of pseudo-follower. I can't trade items with her, but she follows me around, and when I'm trying to get perks as a werewolf, she sometimes resurrects the corpses, so I can't eat their hearts and level up, and it's a little annoying, but oh well. She's a cutie, so I like having her follow me around. I'm also a cutie, though. I always typically play a female character if I have the choice. I don't know why, but because in Skyrim, it's not really like a game where you're looking at your character ever. I mean, you can, but you're probably going to be wearing armor, most likely, so you're not going to be seeing, boobs or ass or anything like that. I mean, there was one time when I was playing it on the Xbox One where there were some, illegally uploaded mods to the special edition that let you see naked titties with, nipples and stuff. Whoa, it was crazy. And then Desmond one time was over at my place, and he loaded up Skyrim because he wanted to play it. He switched into 3rd person. He was like, oh, those are titties on Fulcrum's Skyrim character. That's crazy. I'll have to confront Fulcrum about this. So yeah, Desmond has totally talked to me about my titty mods on Skyrim. That's awesome. Shout out to Desmond. Dawnguard, Dragonborn DLC, very good. I also, on Sunday, November 2nd, the night of, I text Mrs. Chang and ask if she wants to get ice cream following the plans that we made. She says maybe. I say it's okay either way. I also ask Penny if she wants to watch some more Community. She technically asks me, but I'm very quick to say yes. And then I send a message around the time that I know that she's usually free. She immediately hops on and we start up with Abed's stop-motion Christmas episode, then all the way through the next 5 episodes. The next episode... next episode is Jeff and Chang versus Rich in they're voting to see who will join the group. Next one after that is Pierce acting on stage as Drugs, and then Chang eventually replaces him in the role of Drugs. There's the D&D episode, of course, which is the episode that I based my smut on, that I have not worked on in 2 months. I haven't done any work on that fucking pile of shit that I decided to write earlier this year. We did watch the Valentine's Day episode where Troy and Abed compete for the librarian, and Pierce starts overdosing on painkillers more heavily. Immediately following that is Pierce's hospital fake-out episode. And I'm assuming after that I'd probably play some Skyrim before heading to bed. I might also just start watching some Vsauce, which is interesting. Kind of a YouTuber that started up maybe a decade and a half ago. Very cool, more science-oriented channel. I'd recommend you go watch Vsauce if you've never seen any videos from him. Michael Stevens is his name. We're moving on though. Set 41, day 4, 12:30 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I watch some Vsauce videos until I change for work. I drive in and clock on, say hello to Anna and Richard, and I get to work quickly. I get to work and I quickly take a fucking poop, after I arrive. Eventually I end up making a burger for myself to eat. I almost accidentally inhale some of the burger, I start coughing up burger. And there's a moment where I blow my nose and a little bit of a little very small chewed up piece of burger just comes flying out of my nose. It's the most disgusting thing ever. Yeah, I just cough for a while trying to get all of the burger out of my system, I guess. I also asked John if he wants to watch a show or movie over Discord sometime soon. He says yeah. If you remember John, I brought him up on the podcast before. Moving on though, 2:25 p.m., some special needs girl comes into the store and starts smashing the glass in our donut case where we keep all of our donuts. Her chaperone/guide person doesn't even apologize. She acts like it didn't even happen when she checks out with me at the front counter. It's like, really? You're not going to say anything about what just happened? There's a giant crack in our donut case, and okay, see ya, I guess. Weird. Moving on, 2:45 p.m. Store help arrives, and I hop onto my break. I decide to check my progress on the Charisma Myth, the book. I also do, apparently I cry while I'm on break. Thankfully nobody notices. I'm just sitting in the back in the kitchen. Somebody will eventually see me crying at work, though, I'm assuming, and that's not going to be fun, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. A question mark here for this entry. I do ask Penny if she's cool with rewatching Community with John. She says yes if she is available. That would be very cool. I'm wondering how John and Penny will react to one another. I do also ask Penny if she wants to watch some more from where we left off tonight. She says yes. Dope. That is dope. I clock off and drive home, shoot her a message and tell her I'm ready. Eventually I join after she's been sitting in there for a little bit. Excuse me. I start up the stream and we finish up episode 21 in season 2 of Community. She hops off and I start watching some more Vsauce until I get a message on that shitty app Down that I keep bringing up. I really love to talk about it, but I don't. I'm going to keep this explanation short, but to put it lightly, I got my butthole eaten out for the first time the night of Monday, November 3rd. Let it be known. I will say I'm a fan. It feels good. Feel like a bit of a whore, not gonna lie. Luckily I didn't have to eat any ass myself, but eventually I get back home, make some chicken nuggets, and I eat them while watching some Vsauce, and then I go to bed. What an eventful night. I'm gonna move on to Tuesday, November 4th, set 41, day 5. 2:05 p.m. I wake up early. Sleep another few hours, I wake up again, shit, shower, brush, and then I watch some more Vsauce before I eventually change for work and drive in. I arrive, I clock in, and I hate it, obviously. I say hello to Anna and Bernard, and then I get to cooking some food. When I hop on my break, I continue reading the Charisma Myth. It's a pretty interesting book. At 9:20 p.m., I leave work after I clock off. Get home and I load up some Skyrim. I grab some quick achievements and ask Penny if she's free to watch some more Community. She says that she can when she gets home. I also get a message from Alex about a month after I messaged her on Discord. This is Jack's friend that I met earlier this year, if you remember. She apologizes for the late response and she asks how I've been. She tells me that her and her girlfriend are doing all good. They're busy, and she's busy buying a new house and managing that. Penny tells me that she will be ready soon. I load up the site and start watching Vsauce to get ready. We load it up and we watch the final 3 episodes of Season 2. I start with the episode where Shirley gives birth in anthropology class. Then back-to-back paintball episodes to finish the season off. It's a great ending with Pierce's speech about him pushing others and expecting to be rejected, so he, tests other people until eventually they prove him right. It's probably one of the best moments of the show, I'm not gonna lie. After Penny takes off, I start watching more Vsauce and slap some more nuggets into the air fryer, which leaves us with the last set of entries, of course, crammed into one set of entries, Wednesday and Thursday, because I'm terrible at keeping up with the journal consistently. This is set 41, day 6, and day 7, Wednesday. I wake up, shit, shower, brush, then watch some more Vsauce before I get ready for work. I change and drive into work. I clock on, I say hi to Anna and somebody else maybe. This is all from memory. I work and it probably sucked. And then I take off and head home. I do ask Penny about watching Community. She says probably not tonight. No worries. I do kind of feel bad for constantly bugging her about it, but most nights, I'm not gonna lie, she seems down. So I'm just going to keep bugging her, I guess. Get home and repair Skyrim. For some reason, the application wasn't working on my laptop, so I just go into the settings and I click a little button that says, repair this application. I did that, and now it's working. I can get achievements again. Eventually, my dad gets home and invites me to trivia with his gang. A little gang of hoodlums. Sounds good to me. I dress up and take off with my dad. We meet up with Al and Eve, if you remember them, and one of my dad's co-workers. There's also some additional family friends there by random chance. They decide to come over and join our table for trivia. I don't think they'll be recurring characters, so I'm not going to give either of them a name just yet. Somehow I do fail to pace myself on the alcohol. I head to the bathroom without making any kind of scene. I absolutely fucking chunder all over the toilet. Not all over it, but into it. I flush while doing so to cover the noise of me throwing up. I get cleaned up and rejoin the trivia. Thankfully, there was no kind of mess made. It all made it straight into the bowl. Perfect. At some point, I do guess the song name Rosanna during trivia correctly. Score at least 1 point for my team. That song is by Toto, of course, if you don't know. Uncultured, learn your stuff. We get third place in total for the night. Then we take off for home. Get back home and load up some more Skyrim. Play for a small while, but I get really tired very early on, probably because of the alcohol. Go to bed after watching some Vsauce, and then we're moving on to Thursday, which is November 6th, the day that I'm recording this audio. 5:45 p.m. I wake up, or no, actually I'm technically recording it Friday morning, excuse me. Silly me. Yeah, it's past midnight. 5:45 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I watch some more Vsauce before I get ready for work. I dress and drive into work, say hi to Richard and Bernard, and then Bernard leaves quickly afterwards. I get to cooking, the day is I still do not care for my work. I clock off eventually and drive home. I do ask Penny if she wants to watch some more Community and stream some Assassin's Creed 2 while playing Skyrim on my laptop. That's a mouthful. I'll let you decode any of that if you so choose. I also decide to add a word count to my outros. Penny says that she's going to be able to watch one episode. We start season 3 up, and when she hops into the voice channel, I click the play button on the episode. Pierce returns immediately, almost. Hell yeah. Jeff goes crazy and takes an axe to the group's table. The dean gets shaved by the vice dean. Chang becomes the security guard by the end of the episode, and Britta declares her major in psychology. Troy and Abed mention that they're living together. That's a little bit of foreshadowing. I can't remember if there's anything new with Annie in season 3. I do remember in the very, very, very beginning of season 3, episode 1, Jeff and Annie look into each other's eyes and they say, "We're gonna sleep together." So, I don't know if that's foreshadowing or not. You'll have to suss that one out for yourself. After she hops off, Penny goes to bed. I play a little bit more Skyrim. Watch a video on YouTube called "What Women Really Want." Oh boy. It's uploaded by a channel called Soft White Underbelly. I think it's an interview with a guy named Orion Taraban. He's got a PhD. I'm assuming he sounds like a really smart guy when he's being interviewed. Soft White Underbelly, interesting channel. I would say go check it out and make your own opinions, form your own opinions on it. Eventually, during the night, I keep pushing off the recording of this episode. I stumble across some tragic news while procrastinating. If you've ever heard of it, the Star Wars Auralnauts parodies will not continue. The Jedi Party series of Star Wars parody videos on YouTube have ceased. They have uploaded, the Auralnauts YouTube channel has uploaded a video where, obviously, if you know anything about that channel, you know it's run by two people mostly, two guys that are friends and colleagues, and I don't know what other titles to bestow upon them, so I'll leave it at that. They worked together to make all 7 episodes, as well as like the miscellaneous Larry episodes, if you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard of the Auralnauts YouTube channel, or if you have never heard of the Star Wars parody episodes that they have uploaded, I would highly, highly recommend watching those. I'm going to be actually linking them in the description of this video just because I love them so much. I'll give any chance to give them a shout out. But yeah, it's these two guys that have made these parodies videos that I really like, and they officially announced, I believe 3 days ago, or 4 maybe, because of the shift from midnight, I don't know. They have announced that they are officially ceasing all productions and work on the Auralnauts channel. They're going to be focusing on their solo ventures for the time being. I'm sorry, I sniffed my finger there. I was checking to see if I shit myself or not, because I really have to poop right now. Yeah, I need to wrap this up so I can go shit. Rest in peace to Aeronauts. I pray to Christ that at some point they make a parody of Star Wars Episode 8 and Star Wars Episode 9. I do also rewatch the first 2 episodes of the parodies that they created for Star Wars before I recorded this episode of the podcast. They're still really funny. I still really like them. I think it might just be because my humor is fucked. But, oh well, what can I do about that? Moving on, though, I'm going to be moving on to the outro, which is to say that I don't do outros. I don't feel the need to do them. This week's rating out of 10, I guess, could be considered part of the outro. I'll give it like a 7, somewhere between a 7 and an 8, like my motivation for this episode. There's a new portion of the outro, I guess, that I'm including, which means I guess I do have like almost a fully blown outro now. We're going to be doing the word count. The journal app that I use to record my journaling actually has a words written statistic that I can reference at any point. So the word count at the end of 41 weeks of journaling is 57,648 words written into my journal. I am not going to lie. I hope there's one interesting fact about that number that I can list off here that this AI told me about, because I didn't look at any of this really. I just asked the question and then turned my phone off. I didn't look at what the AI came back with. But I asked it if there's anything significant about the number 57,648, and it told me that prime factorization has mirrored primes. Hex representation is aesthetically notable. It's very close to a perfect square. It has 70 divisors. The digital root is 3, and it's divisible by many small primes. I don't care about any of that, so I'm just gonna end this episode before I shit my pants. I got to ask you a question before I go, though. Am I really making a podcast, or am I just jerking off?